There's a version of you in the future. This version of you wakes up on time. No negotiation. They do what they say they're going to do, not when they feel like it, but because they said they would. This version of you is calm in the middle of chaos, focused in a world of distraction, and moves with a purpose so clear that it's almost unsettling to other people. This person isn't born. They aren't gifted this power. They are forged. They are built, piece by piece, decision by decision, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. Most people drift through life as passengers, jerked around by impulse, desire, and what other people think. They are slaves to their own comfort, prisoners in a cell they built themselves, all while wondering why real freedom feels so out of reach. This is for those who are done being passengers. This is for those who are ready to take the wheel. The ancient Stoics philosophers, emperors, and warriors left a blueprint, not for a life of just thinking, but for a life of action, resilience, and unshakable inner power. They understood that discipline wasn't about restriction, it was about liberation. This is the process of using their timeless rules to build a will of iron, to build a version of you so disciplined it scares the people around you. You say you want to change, but your actions still worship comfort. You talk about purpose, but you chase distractions like they hold the answers. You make a promise to yourself at night. Tomorrow, I'll be different. Tomorrow, I'll wake up early. I'll exercise. I'll eat well. I'll do the deep work. Only to watch that promise evaporate in the morning light, shattered by the seductive whisper of the snooze button or another mindless scroll. You feel that gnawing gap between who you are and who you know you could be. It's a private, quiet hell, a cycle of self-betrayal that hollows you out, one broken promise at a time. That ends now. This is not another video about motivation hacks. Motivation is a fair-weather friend. It's flimsy and abandons you the second the work gets hard. This is about something more permanent, something forged in the fire of ancient wisdom. This is about applying a set of unbreakable rules to build a version of you so disciplined, so focused, so in control of your own inner world that it's unnerving to those still lost in their own chaos. Stick with me, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Part 1. The agitating opening, the before state. Let's be honest about where we are. We live in a world engineered for our weakness. Every notification, every ad, every algorithm is designed to hijack your attention and trigger your most primal impulses for comfort, validation, and the easy way out. Your phone is a slot machine in your pocket. Your pantry is a minefield of instant gratification. Your mind, under constant assault, defaults to the path of least resistance. It chooses short-term pleasure over long-term reward every single time. And the most painful part? You let it. You're living in a state of internal civil war. There are two of you. The first is the commander, the architect of your highest self. This is the part of you that buys the gym membership, sets the alarm, and dreams of writing a book, starting a business, or simply becoming a person of their word. This you understands the price of greatness, and is, in moments of clarity, willing to pay it. But then, there's the other you, the soldier of comfort. This part of you lives in the trenches of your nervous system. It's the voice that whispers, just 5 more minutes. The feeling that says, you're too tired today, start tomorrow. The impulse that reaches for junk food after a stressful day. The soldier doesn't care about your grand plans or your New Year's resolutions. It only cares about immediate relief. It only wants to avoid pain and find pleasure right now. And for most of your life, the soldier has been winning the war. Every time you hit snooze, the soldier wins. Every time you choose the couch over the treadmill, the soldier wins. Every time you break a promise to yourself, the commander's voice gets a little weaker and the soldier's grip gets a little tighter. You become a stranger to your own potential. You see glimpses of what you could be in books, in movies, in the lives of people you admire, and it feels like watching a different species. You start to believe that discipline is just some character trait you were born without, a gift for a select few. So you tell yourself stories to make the pain go away. I'm just not a morning person. I have a slow metabolism. I work better under pressure. which is a lie. Procrastination tells you to keep you trapped. These stories are the bars of your cage. They feel safe. They feel familiar, but they are a prison. The cost of this life isn't just the unrealized dreams. It's a slow erosion of self-respect. It's the quiet shame that comes from knowing you're not in control. You are being commanded by your own fleeting emotions, your own worst impulses. As the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius warned himself, you must stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked about by selfish impulses. Yet, that's the daily reality for so many. A life of being jerked from one distraction to the next. A puppet whose strings are pulled by appetite and aversion. This is the before state, a state of internal chaos, broken treaties with yourself, and a life lived at a fraction of its potential. It is from this place of deep frustration that the journey has to begin. Because only when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing will you finally be ready to burn the old you to the ground. Part 2. The philosophical shift, the turning point. But what if the war between your two selves is based on a lie? What if the secret isn't finding more willpower to fight the soldier of comfort, but changing the very ground the battle is fought on? This is the turning point, the philosophical shift that underpins all real, lasting discipline. This is the wisdom of the Stoics. For centuries, from a slave named Epictetus to a powerful statesman named Seneca to the most powerful man in the world, Emperor Marcus Aurelius, these thinkers all wrestled with the same problem. How do you live a good, effective life in a world full of chaos, temptation, and things you can't control? Their answer wasn't a set of life hacks. It was a complete operating system for the human mind. The core principle is deceptively simple, but it holds the key to an unshakable will. Marcus Aurelius wrote it to himself in his private journals, now known as meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Read that again. You have power over your mind, not outside events. This is the great discovery, the secret weapon. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. It's the practice of drawing a hard line in the sand of your reality. On one side, you put the things you absolutely cannot control. The weather, the economy, what other people think of you, getting sick, a promotion, everything external. On the other side, you put the things you have absolute 100% control over. And what's on that list? It's surprisingly short. The Stoics would say it contains only your own thoughts, your judgments, and your actions. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of his time's most respected philosophers, said it perfectly. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever is of our own doing. This isn't just positive thinking. It's a radical reallocation of your energy. The undisciplined person spends 99% of their energy, focus, and emotional turmoil on things they can't control. They're furious about the traffic, anxious about a coworker's comment, despairing about the past, terrified of the future. Their mind is a storm of external concerns, leaving them exhausted, with no strength left to govern the one domain they truly rule. Their own choices in this moment. The Stoic, in contrast, trains themselves to be indifferent to what they can't control, not because they don't care, but because they know that spending energy there is strategic suicide. They pour all of their focus and strength into the sphere of their own actions. This is the turning point. Discipline isn't about white-knuckling your way through temptation. It's about understanding that your feelings, your impulses, your desire for comfort, these are just internal weather patterns, clouds passing in the sky. You don't have to act on them. They aren't you. They are events that happen within you. The real you is the one who observes them and decides how to act. This insight changes everything. Suddenly, the soldier of comfort loses its power. Its whispers about being too tired or not motivated are no longer commands. They're just data points. You can acknowledge them and then choose to act based on your principles, not your passing feelings. The Stoics centered their lives on 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, or self-control. Every decision became a chance to practice one of them. When the alarm goes off and you want to stay in bed, that isn't a battle of comfort versus discomfort. It's a chance to practice courage. When you're tempted by junk food, it's not a battle of craving versus health. It's a chance to practice temperance. By framing your daily actions this way, you elevate them. You're no longer just going to the gym. You're forging a body and mind capable of meeting life's challenges. You're not just eating a healthy meal. You're fueling the vessel that carries your soul. You're not just doing hard work. You're building an empire of self-mastery. This is the philosophical foundation. You are not a victim of your feelings, but the ruler of your actions. You are committed to focusing only on what is in your power and accepting the rest. From this foundation, we can now build the practical pillars of a life so disciplined, it becomes a force of nature. Part 3. The practical application, the how-to. Understanding the philosophy is step 1. But the Stoics were pragmatists. They were people of action. They knew philosophy was useless unless it was lived and practiced every single day. Wisdom isn't what you know, it's what you do. So, how do we turn this philosophical shift into concrete daily action? We build a new set of rules for living, not a long, complicated list, but 3 foundational pillars for your fortress of discipline. These aren't tips, they're edicts you issue to yourself. Rule 1. Stop negotiating with yourself. The undisciplined mind is a debating society. When the alarm rings at 5 a.m., a negotiation begins. The commander says, "Time to get up. We have a plan." The soldier of comfort immediately files a counter-argument. "But the bed is so warm. It's dark out. A few more minutes won't hurt. We can just work out later. We deserve the rest." Sound familiar? This debate can last 5, 10, 30 minutes. And here's the crucial truth. If you let the debate happen, the soldier of comfort almost always wins. Why? Because it argues with feelings, and feelings are incredibly persuasive in the moment. It speaks the language of instant gratification your brain is hardwired to crave. The disciplined mind does not negotiate. The decision was already made. It was made the night before when you set the alarm. It was made when you decided you wanted to be the kind of person who honors their commitments. The moment the alarm rings is not a moment for decision. It is a moment for action. The feet hit the floor before the mind has a chance to object. This is a profound shift. You treat your own word to yourself as law, not a suggestion. As Marcus Aurelius instructed himself, be strict with yourself. This is what he meant. You hold yourself to a non-negotiable standard. How do you build this? You start small. As Epictetus advised, practice yourself in little things, and thence proceed to greater. If you say you're going to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, you do it. No debate. If you say you're going to make your bed, you do it. The moment you think of it, no debate. If you say you're going to put your workout clothes on, you do it. The action is the only thing that matters. Each time you act without negotiation, you cast a vote for the commander. You strengthen the part of you that's in charge. You teach the soldier of comfort that its voice is irrelevant. It can complain all it wants, but the body is going to move anyway. This is what Seneca meant when he wrote, "The body should be treated more rigorously, that it may not be disobedient to the mind." This rule extends everywhere. When you're working on a hard task and the urge to check your phone arises, you recognize it. You name it, the desire for distraction, and you let it pass without acting. You do not negotiate. The decision to focus was already made. This practice of observing impulses without obeying them is a form of mindfulness the Stoics mastered. They saw their thoughts and feelings as separate from their core, rational self. When an impulse arises, you see it not as a command, but as a cloud drifting by. You don't have to get on the cloud. You can just let it go. Stop negotiating with the weaker part of yourself. Issue the command and obey it instantly. This is the first law of an unshakable will. Rule 2. Practice voluntary hardship. Modern society is a conspiracy against your resilience. Everything is optimized for comfort. The temperature is always controlled. Food is always available. Discomfort is seen as a problem to be fixed immediately. This constant state of ease creates a hidden weakness. We become fragile when real, unavoidable hardship arrives. A health crisis, a financial setback, a personal loss, we shatter because we have no training. Our discomfort muscle has atrophied. The Stoics knew this danger well. They knew a person who has never been tested can't trust themselves. So they invented a powerful antidote: voluntary hardship, the deliberate, chosen practice of discomfort. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would regularly practice poverty. For a few days, he would wear his roughest clothes and eat the simplest food. He did this not to suffer, but as a form of psychological vaccination. He wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare. Ask yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared?" By willingly touching the thing he was afraid of, he robbed it of its terror. He proved to himself that he could not only survive but maintain his peace of mind. This gave him profound freedom. We must adopt this practice. We must intentionally introduce small, controlled doses of discomfort to build the mental and physical toughness required to face the uncontrolled chaos of the world. While the Stoics understood this philosophically, modern research is beginning to show links between controlled stressors and mental fortitude. Some studies have found that engagement in practices like cold water immersion is associated with higher levels of resilience and mental toughness. How can you apply this today? The options are endless, and you can start small. Take cold showers. This is a classic example. Ending your shower with 30 seconds of pure cold water is a powerful daily ritual. The moment your mind screams, "No," you step into it anyway. You are teaching your body that your mind is in charge. You're proving you can endure a shock to your system and remain calm. Fast intermittently. Skip a meal. Go without food for a set period. You will learn that hunger is just a sensation, not an emergency. You develop control over your appetites. Exercise when you don't want to. This is crucial. Motivation is a myth for the disciplined. The act of lacing up your shoes and starting, even when every cell in your body protests, is a victory that builds more momentum than any motivational speech. Sleep on the floor for a night. Like the Stoics, test your dependence on comfort. You might wake up sore, but you'll also wake up with the quiet knowledge that your well-being doesn't depend on a soft mattress. The point of these exercises isn't to torture yourself. It's to train your mind. Each time you choose the harder path, you send a powerful message to yourself. I am not ruled by comfort. I can handle adversity. I am in control. This practice transforms your relationship with difficulty. You begin to see it as an opportunity for training. That challenging project at work is no longer a threat. It's a chance to build focus. That difficult conversation is no longer something to dread. It's a chance to practice courage. Voluntary hardship is the forge where resilience is tempered. By choosing your trials, you prepare yourself for the ones you cannot choose. Rule 3. Master the dichotomy of control. This is the principle we talked about earlier, but it's so fundamental it must be a daily active practice. It is the master key. Most of our indiscipline, anxiety, and frustration comes from one simple error. We waste our energy on things we can't control. The disciplined mind is an efficient mind. It doesn't waste a single watt of power on the uncontrollable. You must become a ruthless auditor of your own attention. Throughout your day, constantly ask yourself, what Epictetus taught? Is this within my control or not? Someone cuts you off in traffic. Before the anger flares, ask, is their driving in my control? No. What is in your control? Your response. You can curse and rage, spiking your own cortisol and ruining your mood. Or you can choose to breathe, let it go, and maintain your inner peace. The Stoic chooses the latter. They refuse to let someone else's bad driving become their own internal problem. You're worried about a presentation. Ask, is the audience's reaction in my control? No. Is the client's final decision in my control? No. What is in your control? The quality of your preparation, the amount of practice you put in, the effort you expend. So, you pour every ounce of your energy into your preparation and let go of the outcome. You do your absolute best and accept the result, whatever it may be. This is what the Stoics called acting with a reserve clause. You act with the intention to succeed, but always know the final result is out of your hands. This practice is liberating. It frees you from the crippling weight of anxiety. You stop trying to manipulate the world and focus on mastering yourself. Discipline becomes infinitely easier when you apply this rule. Why? Because you are no longer trying to do the impossible. You are focusing your will only on the small, manageable sphere of your own actions. 1. You can't control becoming a best-selling author. You can't control writing 500 words today, so you do that. 2. You can't control losing 20 pounds in a month. You can control eating a healthy meal right now and going for a walk, so you do that. 3. You can't control your boss recognizing your hard work. You can control the quality of the work you produce in the next hour, so you do that. This is how empires of discipline are built. One controllable action at a time. Marcus Aurelius commanded a massive empire, yet he constantly reminded himself to focus on the task at hand, as if it were the last act of his life. He knew his power was not in controlling the world, but in controlling his response to it. Start practicing this today. Write down a problem that's stressing you out. Draw a line down the middle of a page. On the left, list everything about it you cannot control. On the right, list the few, specific actions that are 100% within your power. Now, cross out the left side of the page. Mentally, let it go. Give it up. Then, circle one item on the right side and do it immediately. This is the Stoic art of action, the surgical application of your will. Master this, and you'll find you have all the energy you need because you will have stopped squandering it on what you can't control. Part 4. The transformation, the afterstate. So what happens when you actually live by these rules? When you stop negotiating, seek discomfort, and master the dichotomy of control, something profound shifts. Not overnight, but gradually. Then, all at once, you start to build a new self. This new you moves differently. There's an economy of motion, less wasted energy. When you decide to do something, you just do it. The internal debate, the friction, the drama, it fades. There's a quiet hum of purpose where the static of indecision used to be. You start to trust yourself. This is maybe the greatest reward. For years, your word to yourself was flimsy, easily vetoed by a bad mood. Now, it's law. When you say you'll do something, it's as good as done. This self-trust is a source of immense power and inner peace. You're no longer at war with yourself. You are a unified force. Your perception of the world changes. Obstacles are no longer frustrating roadblocks. They're opportunities. A hard task is a chance to train your focus. An unexpected problem is a chance to practice resilience. You start to see the world not as a source of comfort or pain, but as a gymnasium for your character. You become calmer. The low-grade anxiety that hums beneath modern life starts to disappear. Why? Because that anxiety is almost always rooted in fearing things outside your control. By letting go of outcomes, you find a tranquility that isn't dependent on circumstances. Your peace is generated from within, so the chaos of the world can't take it from you. And then, others start to notice. This is where the title of this journey comes to life. Become so disciplined, it scares them. What scares them isn't aggression or arrogance. It's the opposite. It's your quiet, unshakable certainty. In a world where everyone is complaining, you're acting. In a world where everyone is emotionally reactive, you're calm. In a world of distraction, you are deeply focused. In a world of broken promises, you are a person of your word. Your presence becomes a mirror. When people ruled by their impulses meet someone who isn't, it can be deeply unsettling. Your discipline silently exposes their own lack of it. Your focus highlights their distraction. They don't get it. How are you always so calm? How do you get so much done? Don't you ever just feel like not doing it? They ask because they're still trapped in the mindset that action requires a certain feeling. They're waiting for motivation. They're waiting for the right mood. You've moved beyond that. You have learned the great secret that therapeutic practices like behavioral activation are built on. Sometimes you have to act first and let the feelings of motivation and well-being follow. You act out of principle, not passion. And this ability to separate action from emotion is what can seem almost superhuman to those who've never tried it. The scare is one of confusion. It's the feeling someone gets when they witness something that seems to defy the normal laws of human nature as they know them. They see you get up at 5 a.m. on a cold morning, not with a grimace, but with purpose. They see you remain unflustered in a crisis while everyone else panics. You are living proof that a person can choose to be the master of their own mind, not its slave. You are a testament to the fact that freedom is found not in the absence of structure, but in the creation of it. You become what Marcus Aurelius called a person who is no one's master and no one's slave, especially not a slave to your own weaknesses. This is the transformation, from internal chaos to internal order, from self-betrayal to self-trust, from being a leaf in the wind to becoming the wind itself. You become a force, guided by principle, forged by practice, so profoundly in command of your inner world that your very existence challenges the assumptions of everyone around you. Part 5. The empowering conclusion. We've journeyed from the prison of our own bad habits to the fortress of a disciplined mind. We've seen that the way out of internal chaos isn't paved with motivational quotes, but with the timeless, battle-tested principles of the Stoics. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. It is a commitment to a new way of living. It is the decision to stop being a slave to your fleeting feelings and to become the master of your chosen actions. The 3 pillars, stopping all negotiation with yourself, practicing voluntary hardship, and mastering the dichotomy of control, are not just ideas to think about. They are tools to be used. They are muscles to be trained every single day. Discipline is not about punishment. It's the ultimate act of self-love. It's the love that says, I care enough about my future self to endure the discomfort of today. As Marcus Aurelius said, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This isn't a call to self-punishment, but a call to self-respect. The version of you that is so disciplined it scares them isn't an endpoint. It's a process. It is the sum of thousands of small choices. The choice to get out of bed, the choice to do the hard work, the choice to remain calm, the choice to keep your word to yourself. Each choice is a brick. Each day is a layer. Over time, you build an inner citadel so strong that no external event can topple it. You build a character so resilient that it can weather any storm. The world will stay chaotic and distracting. People will remain unpredictable. Fate will continue to be fickle. But none of that will matter as much because you will have cultivated the one thing that truly matters: mastery over your own soul. You will have found the freedom that comes not from having everything you want, but from being in control of the one thing you will always have: your own mind. The journey starts now, not tomorrow. The undisciplined mind loves later. The disciplined mind knows there is only now. Your new life begins with a single, unbroken promise. Start small, as Epictetus taught us. Choose one thing. One small act of discipline that you will commit to for the next 24 hours. Maybe it's waking up without the snooze button. Maybe it's a 30-second cold shower. Maybe it's writing one page. Maybe it's putting your phone away for 1 hour of focused work. Choose one thing. Make it small enough that you can't fail, but meaningful enough that it counts. Begin with that one small promise to yourself today. Let me know what it is in the comments below. Let's hold each other accountable and start building. The journey to becoming the person you were meant to be starts with this first step. As Marcus Aurelius would say, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one.